Okay, we're playing an American player called Santels or whatever. Doesn't really matter what they're called. The main thing is how they play. So e4, e5, knight f3, standard kind of opening, attack the pawn here. He has to find a way to either defend this or counter-attack on this, which he prefers the counter-attack, so we're going to take here. d6 is the only real move in this position, and it doesn't. So we're going to play this. What's going to happen is eventually he's going to get into trouble on the e-file because his queen is going to be here on e4, or it's going to stay on e7. Either way, it doesn't matter because we're going to be able to quickly castle, whereas he has the queen on a square that's stopping the bishop from getting out and allowing the king to castle. So we're going to castle and put a rook on the e-file, and then it's just a matter of playing the bishop on d3 and the knight on e2 and pile up, play c4 to undermine the defense of this knight on e4, and eventually he's going to get more trouble than he would wish to have. So we do what we says, play this. Eventually when we play knight here, we're threatening both the pawn and the knight. So if he takes, pawn takes, and we're threatening to discover the bishop and open up the attack on the e-file against the king and queen, this move is not helpful. So as I said, we play knight here, and very quickly he's going to get in very big trouble because of this rook on the file. You know, he's really distracting himself here. He's not addressing the issue. The issue is the e-file, and playing some, you know, funny move on the side of the board like this is just not doing anything about it. Alright, so he takes here, which is the only move. Pawn takes, and now, as I said, he's going to find himself with a very nasty move. But first we're going to see, if we had moved the bishop, he would have put the bishop here and be quite safe. So we want to undermine the center here, so that if, when the bishop moves, he puts his bishop here, we are able to actually push, but we have to be careful about the rook behind. So white is winning, but it must still play with being careful. If bishop here, which is a bad move, then we just take, and we can do two ways. We can play here, and then there. How about just this? That's simpler. So now we're threatening to win the queen on the e-file, and what I was saying about he will get some really big trouble on the e-file is now proved to be true. The only move is bishop back, and then we simply play d5 and we pick up the piece, and he still has trouble after us picking up the piece, so he resigns.